Time now for Cavalier Between Games Entertainment, featuring today's episode of Eau Claire Baseball Memories and other entertainment. We'll bring you Eau Claire Baseball Memories right after this timeout.
Eyes forward. Don't drive distracted.
The Northern Light Webcasting Network along with the Chippewa Valley Museum brings you Eau Claire Baseball Memories. A look at the history of minor league baseball in Eau Claire from 1886 through 1962. And now, today's episode of Eau Claire Baseball Memories. Episode 3 is called Andy and the Hammer.
Western Wisconsin native Andy Pafko grew up and went to high school less than 40 miles west of Eau Claire in Boyceville, Wisconsin. The small village did not have a baseball team. However, Pafko was signed as a 19-year-old by the Class D Eau Claire Bears of the Northern League for the 1940 season. Pafko learned about the Bears' interest from team manager Ivy Griffin while working on his father's farm.
I still remember the day he pulled into the driveway at the farm in that nice new car. It took me about 5 minutes to get off the threshing machine and change my clothes. I was gone.
Pafko's contract was purchased by the Chicago Cubs, and he made his major league debut on September 24, 1943. Through his 17-year major league career, Pafko played with the Cubs, the Brooklyn Dodgers, and the Milwaukee Braves. Andy Pafko was known for his work ethic and crouched batting stance. He played in 4 World Series for 3 teams, the 1945 Cubs, the 1952 Brooklyn Dodgers, and the 1957 and 1958 Milwaukee Braves. In his 17-year major league career, Pafko hit .285 with 213 home runs and 976 RBIs in 1,852 games. He struck out only 477 times in 6,292 at-bats. Luck didn't always go Pafko's way. He's remembered for this incident in 1949.
I caught a bit of bad luck, as well as a blooper in the outfield off the bat of St. Louis Cardinal first baseman Rocky Nelson. The outfield was strewn with paper cups, perhaps confusing umpire Al Barlick, who called Nelson safe on supposedly a trap catch. At the time of the play, there was a runner on first base with 2 outs in the top of the 9th inning, and the Cubs leading 3-2. So if I had indeed made a valid catch, the Cubs would be 3-2 victors. However, because of the umpire's call, I started arguing with Barlick and forgot to call time. By the time that I realized that time had not been called, the base runner on first had scored and Nelson was heading home. I finally threw home, but my throw bounced off Nelson as Rocky slid home, giving the Cards a lead 4-3. The Cardinals went on to win 4-3, and Nelson was credited with perhaps the only inside-the-glove home run in baseball history.
Pafko was acquired by the Dodgers during the 1951 season and was playing left field when Bobby Thompson hit the famous pennant-winning home run for the Giants, known as the shot heard round the world. The ball sailed well over Pafko's head. Andy Pafko may also have hit the longest home run ever if measured by where the ball stops. While playing for the Cubs against the Boston Braves, he hit a homer that went over the fence and landed on a coal car of a passing train. It didn't stop until it got to New York. While playing in that 1940 season in Eau Claire, Handy Andy compiled a .209 batting average, which was good enough to get him moved to the Green Bay Blue Jays the following season. The Hammer is only one of the nicknames given to Henry Aaron. He was probably better known as Hammer and Hank. Back on November 20th, 1951, baseball scout Ed Scott signed 17-year-old Henry Aaron to a contract on behalf of the Indianapolis Clowns of the Negro American League, where he played for 3 months. As a result of his standout play with the Indianapolis Clowns, Aaron received 2 offers from major league teams via telegram, one from the New York Giants and the other from the Boston Braves. The Braves purchased Aaron's contract from the Clowns for $10,000. The Braves assigned Aaron to the Eau Claire Bears, the Braves' Northern League Class C farm team. The 1952 season proved to be very beneficial for Aaron. Playing in the infield, Aaron continued to develop as a ball player and made the Northern League's All-Star team. By the end of the season, he had performed so well that the league made him the unanimous choice for Rookie of the Year. Although he appeared in just 87 games, he scored 89 runs, had 116 hits, 9 home runs, and 61 RBI. In addition, Aaron hit for a .336 batting average. In 1953, Aaron played for the Jacksonville Braves of the Southern League, and that winter he played winter ball in Puerto Rico, where he learned to play in the outfield. By the time the 1954 season rolled around, Hammerin' Hank was called up to the Milwaukee Braves. Hank Aaron compiled a career batting average of .305 with 755 home runs and 2297 RBI in his 3,298-game career with the Milwaukee Braves, the Atlanta Braves, and the Milwaukee Brewers. Aaron was elected to the Baseball Hall of Fame in 1982. On April 8, 1974, Aaron did the unimaginable when he broke Babe Ruth's record for career home runs as he hit number 715 off the Los Angeles Dodgers' Al Downing. It was shortly after Hank Aaron's record-breaking home run that Georgia Congressman Andrew Young declared, through his long career, Hank Aaron has been a model of humility, dignity, and quiet competence. He did not seek the adoration that is accorded to other national athletic heroes, yet he has now earned it. The city of Eau Claire has erected a statue of Henry Aaron right outside of the Carson Park baseball stadium to commemorate Aaron's start with the Braves organization by playing in Eau Claire.
That was the last pitch of the Northern Light Webcasting Network along with the Chippewa Valley Museums, Episode 3 in the series Eau Claire Baseball Memories. A look at the history of minor league baseball in Eau Claire from 1886 through 1962. Episode 4 will air between games of the next Eau Claire Cavalier doubleheader. Stay tuned, coming up shortly is Game 2 of today's Cavalier doubleheader.
You need some help?
Your tow chains are a little loose. Could spark a wildfire. I could show you how to secure them properly if you'd like.
Sure. Thanks a lot.
Anytime. You should check out SmokeyBear.com. They've got a bunch of tips on wildfire prevention.
Only you can prevent wildfires.
helped a fellow veteran?
Yes. I do my best reaching out to my brothers and sisters in arms.
Have you ever asked for help yourself?
Most of us, we're not gonna admit that we need to help.
You don't have someone to kind of help you guide those thoughts. It can be really bad.
It's just a beautiful space when someone can trust you and say, listen, I need help.
You've been tuned to Cavalier Between Games. Stay tuned. Coming up next is Game 2 of today's Cavalier doubleheader.
It happens to everyone eventually. Your computer goes on the fritz. Fear not, Sladen's Technology Services can help. When your computer decides to not cooperate, it can be very frustrating. Let Sladen's Technology Services keep you from wanting to drive your computer right off a cliff. Sladen's Technology Services supports business of all sizes. They offer assistance with managed anti-malware, encrypted email, fast tech support, data backup, and recovery, and more. Call Sladen's Technology Services at 715-864-2833 and get the IT help you desire. Sladen's Technology Services is the official IT service for the Northern Light Webcasting Network.
Eau Claire Cavalier Baseball is on the air.
Hopper back to Milner, throws second for one, over to first. And they got him a 1-6-3 double play.
NLWN-TV proudly presents today's Eau Claire Cavalier game. Join us as the Cavaliers attempt to defend their Chippewa River Baseball League Championship.
And a no-hitter for Andrew Milner.
And now, out to the ballpark for Eau Claire Cavalier Baseball.
Well, welcome back to Carson Park and Game 2 of our doubleheader today between the Cavaliers and the Tilden Tigers. Cavs came up short end of the 7-4 score in Game 1, and so they're hoping to gain the split here in Game 2. Should be a little quieter here at the ballpark without the Blue Angels flying over. There were times that I couldn't even hear what was coming through my headphones because those jet engines were roaring overhead, although it was very exciting. And unfortunately, the Cavaliers came up on the short end of that score. We are just about ready to get things going. Jay is busily writing, so I will go ahead and give you the starting lineups for Game 2. First of all, for the Tilden Tigers, leading off the center fielder, Jordan Steinmetz. Batting second, left fielder, Lucas Steinmetz. Batting third, behind the plate, Jack Gorman. Batting fourth in the cleanup spot is the first baseman, Jacob Lacey. Batting fifth, playing third base, Nolan Byer. Batting sixth, the designated hitter, Cole Zwiefelhofer. Batting seventh and playing shortstop is Jake Lakoya. Batting eighth and playing second base, Ben Metler. And batting ninth and playing right field is Ben Steinmetz. For the Cavaliers, leading off, playing left field is Brayton Tillman. Out in center field, batting second is Xavier Bemnister. Batting third at shortstop, Caden Erickson. Batting fourth, behind the plate, Sam Knickerbocker. Batting fifth, over at first base, Logan Hesselman. Batting sixth, the designated hitter, Carter Veith. Batting seventh, third base, Cade Mueller. Batting eighth, out in right field, Carson Windeshausen. Batting ninth, the extra hitter, Jerome Delikowski. And batting 10th, and playing second base is Riley Gopinski. Cavaliers will come into this game with an 8-4 CRBL record, and the Tigers are 4-6 in the CRBL. Cavs are in the CRBL South, and the Tigers are in the CRBL North. We are very close to being ready to get this one started. Cooper Dykes on the mound for the Cavaliers, and Dykes comes into this game with a record of 1 win and 1 loss with a save. He's pitched, let me find it here, 24 innings, and he has an earned run average of 2.25. On the mound for the Tilden Tigers will be P.J. Lakoya. He is the leader of the Tigers pitching staff. He has a 2-1 record with a 1.54 earned run average in 22 2/3 innings pitched. And as we're getting ready, Cavaliers are getting ready to take the field. We're going to take a real quick timeout as you're tuned to Cavalier Baseball on NLWN-TV.
My name's Stacy, I'm 57, and I was adopted in 2020. One teen can come in and make you look at life in a whole different way.
You know, he's my father, so I look up to him a lot. If I can be 10% of the man he is, I'll be a happy person for sure.
Learn about adopting a teen from foster care. You can't imagine the reward. Visit adoptuskids.org.
Let NLWN-TV take you out to the ballgame. Our next broadcast will be on Wednesday, July 2nd, when we will bring you the Cavaliers taking on the Augusta Athletics from Jan Kruger Memorial Field in Augusta, Wisconsin. Live coverage on NLWN-TV begins with the In the Dugout show at 6:30 p.m. That's Eau Claire Cavalier Baseball on Wednesday, July 2nd on NLWN-TV.
Adding your own flavor to fashion comes with age.
Okay, Dad, look at you.
Yeah, welcome. Hi.
Forgetting how to add doesn't. Finding it difficult to work with numbers may be a sign of Alzheimer's.
Dad, are you okay?
An early diagnosis can help improve the quality of life for your loved one. Learn the warning signs of Alzheimer's. Some things come with age, some others don't.
So we're getting ready to start, and of course we get changes in the lineup right as the first batter comes up, as Tilden set up different lineups, so you're going to have to bear with us. And there's a 1-1 count to Jordan Steinmetz. He is not a change in the lineup. Billy McKnight behind the plate calling balls and strikes. There's a fly ball out in the center field. Bemnister going back, and he can't get there. And Steinmetz checks in at second with a double. That's going to bring up Lucas Steinmetz. Lucas Steinmetz went 1 for 1 with a run scored. And there's a called strike. And there's a check swing foul down the third baseline. Taking a look at the Cavaliers defensively, Cade Mueller's over at third, Caden Erickson's at short, Riley Gopinski at second, Logan Hesselman's at first, Sam Knickerbocker behind the plate. Out in left field is Brayton Tillman. Here's the pitch that missed low. A ball and 2 strikes. Center fielder Xavier Bemnister. Right field is Carson Windeshausen. And there's a chopper foul. So a ball and 2 strikes to Lucas Steinmetz. Nobody out. Jordan Steinmetz is on second. And the pitch. That miss low and inside. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Cooper Dykes on the mound for the Cavs. Here's the pitch. Swung on, I missed. But it was foul tipped away. Big mighty swing that time, especially for the amount of the ball that he got a hold of. Dykes looks over at second and now delivers. Foul back into the screen. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Nobody out. And the pitch is outside for a ball. Full count now to Lucas Steinmetz. Dykes holds, now he delivers, and it's low for ball 4. 2 runners on with nobody out in the first inning. And that's going to bring up Jack Gorman.
Number 17, Jack Gorman.
Gorman went 1 for 4 in game 1, scored a run, had an RBI. Hesselman playing in on the grass. And a strike called on the outside corner. And the pitch. There's a ground ball past the glove of Erickson out into center field. Throw comes over to third, gets past, and a second run is going to come in to score. So, Gorman is going to get a base hit to center field with an RBI. That allowed Steinmetz to score. Then Lucas Steinmetz scored on the air over at third base.
Back forth, the first baseman, number 19, Jacob Lacey.
So 2 runs in. And the pitch hit the outside corner for a strike. Jacob Lacey at the plate. He went 2 for 4 with 2 RBI. And that one missed inside just by a little bit. 1 ball and 1 strike. Still nobody out. And there's a strike on the inside corner. Lacey didn't like that call.
Tilden starting the same way they did in the first game in the first inning, except earlier batters have scored.
Dykes delivers. There's a hopper fielded by Hesselman. No, it's not. It bounced off his glove. And let's see how they mark that one. They're going to give him a hit.
The Tigers, number 20,
so it puts runners on the corners with nobody out. And that first pitch is a ball to Nolan Byer. Nolan Byer went 0 for 4 in the first game, but he did score a run. There's a ground ball foul down the third base line. And here's the pitch. Missed inside. Two balls and a strike, 2 on, 2 in. We're in the top of the first inning. Game 2, runner goes. Fly ball to left field, and making the catch is Tillman. Throw comes in, and run scores. So it's going to be a sacrifice fly by Nolan Byer. And that brought in Jack Gorman. Jacob Lacey had to hustle back to first as he was all the way to second. And that's going to bring up Jake Lakoya. And he's playing shortstop. He was the pitcher in the first game. He's batting .133 on the year. That one's fouled away. 1 ball, 1 strike. Lacey at first. He takes his lead. Pitch is a called strike. Knickerbocker bluffed the throw down to first. A ball and 2 strikes to Jake Lakoya. Fouls that one back into the net. And the 1-2. That's outside for a ball. And the pitch, fly ball, foul. That one went a long way. That's out in the football field, but foul. 2 balls and 2 strikes. And the pitch. There's a ground ball fielded by Hesselman. The race to the bag. He gets there first. It did move the runner over. So 2 down. So Nick Rooney comes to the plate. He's playing right field. In game 1, there's a strike called. Rooney went 0 for 2 and scored a run. Here's the pitch. Strike called on the inside corner. And that one just missed outside, a little low. A ball and 2 strikes with 2 down. And the pitch. Swing and a miss for strike 3. So Rooney goes down on strikes, and the Tilden Tigers finally go down, but not before they score 3 runs on 3 hits. There was 1 Cavalier error and 1 left on base. We played a half inning, and it's the Tigers 3 and the Cavaliers nothing on NLWN-TV.
The roar of our engines, the pump of our heartbeats, the pedal to our metal. The sparks that ignite us, the pistons that push us, the passions that drive us, on the roads that unite us. Napa has America's largest network of parts and care, Here to be the fuel that keeps you firing on all cylinders.
Visit either of Eau Claire's 2 locally owned Napa Auto Parts stores on Highway 93 or North Claremont Avenue.
Honey, the kids are antsy. What can we do that will keep all of us entertained and won't break the bank?
How about we take them to the Cavaliers game? Tickets are inexpensive, there's popcorn, hot dogs, and other baseball treats, and great baseball action.
That's right, Eau Claire Cavalier Baseball, your best choice for affordable family entertainment. Check out the schedule at www.eauclaircavaliers.org.
Okay, we have a bunch of fielding changes also for the Tilden Tigers. Jack Gorman is not behind the plate. Behind the plate is Jordan Steinmetz. Jack Gorman is the designated hitter. As I'm looking around, Ben Steinmetz is playing center field for the Tilden Tigers. I think that's it for the changes that they did as they were coming to bat in the top of the first. All of a sudden we get a new lineup sheet. Nothing like scrambling. Leading things off for the Cavaliers is Brayton Tillman. Takes first pitch outside for a ball. Tillman went 2 for 4 in game 1. And he hits a fly ball out towards left field. Boy, I thought we were going to get to be like NASA and call splashdown. It just missed the puddles over there. So 1 ball, 1 strike to Brayton Tillman. And the pitch. That's low for a ball. 2 balls, 1 strike. And the pitch. Ground ball over to first. Fielded there, and stepping on the bag, it's in time by Jacob Lacey. So Tillman grounds out 3 unassisted. It's going to bring up Xavier Bemnister. Bemnister went 2 for 4. Scored a run, had an RBI in game 1. And he hits a ground ball deep to short, throw over to first. It's not in time, and it got past the first baseman. Bemnister checks in there. That should be a base hit. And that's the way they ruled it. So taking a look again at the Tilden Tigers defensively, Jordan Steinmetz behind the plate. Nolan Byer is over at third. Jake LaCoy is at short. And I'm looking now just to make sure that's the true situation. Moving over, making the catch for the out. I don't think that's Jake LaCoy at short. He's over at second.
Number 8.
LaCoy is at second. And Mettler is at short. So I was incorrect. There's a pop-up out into left field. Mettler dropping back, and he makes a catch for the third out. So for the Cavaliers, no runs, 1 hit, no error, and 1 left on base. We've played an inning, and it's 3-0 Tilden on NLWN-TV.
The Eau Claire Cavaliers would like to take veterans out to the ball game. That's right. As a thank you for your service, any veteran of the United States military can receive a lifetime pass for free admission to all Cavalier home games. Just come to Carson Park with your veteran identification, and the Cavaliers will issue you a free lifetime pass to all Cavalier home games. That's just the Cavaliers' way of saying thank you for your service.
Menominee Eye and Optical can help you see the world for the beautiful place it is. Doctors Nicholas and Marianne Comro provide comprehensive and emergency eye care for all, including pediatric and special needs patients. Whether it's examination for glasses to cataract or LASIK care, or diagnosis and management of macular degeneration, and so much more. In addition, Menominee Eye and Optical's experienced opticians will help guide you to the highest quality eyewear for the best value. That's Menominee Eye and Optical, 520 Wilson Avenue in Menominee, where they specialize in quality personalized care for you and your family.
Going into the top of the second inning, leading off for the Tilden Tigers is the shortstop Ben Metler, still looking for his first hit in CRBL play.
Leading off the top of the second for the Tilden Tigers, the shortstop, number 8, Ben Metler.
Warm, sticky day here at Carson Park. Game 2 of our doubleheader. And there's a chopper down the third baseline, but foul. It was out in fair territory, but I think he bounced it off the plate. Billy McKnight called it foul right away. So no balls and a strike. Strike called at the letters. 0-2. Here's the pitch. That one missed outside. A ball and 2 strikes. And the pitch. Foul tipped. Knickerbocker couldn't hang on to it that time. So the count holds at 1-2. And the pitch. And that was a foul ball over onto the right side.
Ball brought to you by Auto Living Center, where you can get pre-estimates and lifetime workmanship warranty.
And the pitch swung on a miss for strike 3. Metler goes down swinging. Brings up Ben Steinmetz, the center fielder. Steinmetz went 1 for 4, scored a run in game 1. He shows bunt and bunts it foul on the third base side. The 0-1 pitch. Fly ball out into shallow center field. Kapinski moving back. It falls in, and Cavaliers pick it up. Windeshausen picks it up and gets it back into the infield as Steinmetz has a base hit. Takes us back to the top of the order. Jordan Steinmetz doubled his first time up, came around and scored a run. And there's a strike called. And that floating curveball floated right into the backside of Jordan Steinmetz. So 2 runners on now. Ben Steinmetz on second. Jordan Steinmetz on first. Lucas Steinmetz at the plate. And there's a strike called. No balls and one strike. And that one got Lucas. That's 2 straight hit by pitches for Cooper Dykes. And the bases are full of Steinmetzes. And Ryan Bemnister wants to have a talk out on the mound. He does have Eli Rathke available.
Now batting for the Tilden Tigers, designated hitter Jack Gorman.
So, the DH, Jack Gorman, is coming up. He singled his first time up. Eventually came around and scored. Hits a high pop in the infield. Hesselman gets called off by Gopinski, and he makes the catch. So 2 down. Bases still full of Steinmetzes. It's going to bring up Jacob Lacey, the first baseman. Got on an infield hit over toward first his last time up. And there's a strike called. And the pitch. There's a fly ball, foul territory out left field towards the Great Lakes over there. And it falls harmlessly. So it's 1 ball, 1 strike. The Great Lakes have diminished a little bit, but they're still there. The ball could fall in there with a mighty splat. Dykes delivers. Just a bit high. 2 balls and a strike. And the 2-1. And that's the 3rd straight hit by pitch. And it is an RBI. As Ben Steinmetz comes in to score. So Jordan Steinmetz on 3rd, Lucas Steinmetz on 2nd, Jacob Lacey's on 1st with 2 down. All 3 of them are on base via the hit by pitch, and he almost got Nolan Byer. A ball and no strikes. And there's a pop foul. Out of play on the right side.
The ball brought to you by Island Lake Endeavors. Family owned and operated since being established in 2023.
Pitch by Dykes. Ground ball over towards short. Erickson throws it to 2nd for the out. It was pretty close play at 2nd, but they got him. So Byers on a fielder's choice, and that'll do it for the Tigers. They do pick up a run on 1 hit. There were no errors, and 3 were left on base. We've played an inning and a half, and it's the Tilden Tigers 4, Cavaliers nothing on NLWN-TV.
Auto Vision Center in Eau Claire, your source for auto glass repair and replacement. Their quality work comes complete with a lifetime warranty on workmanship. When it comes to windshield repair and replacement, Auto Vision Center provides mobile auto glass services with free estimates. So if your windshield needs help, call Auto Vision Center today. That's Auto Vision Center at 1631 North Claremont in Eau Claire. Call 715-834-5277.
When you have that craving for a home-cooked meal the way Mom used to make it, rest assured, you can still get that meal by going to Mom's Restaurant and Pub in Colfax. Mom's is open daily, serving breakfast and lunch, and don't forget dinner on Friday nights with Mom's famous fish fry. The coffee is always hot, the breakfast is always delicious, and lunch will put a smile on your face and in your stomach. 225 Bremer Avenue, Colfax. Call 715-962-4617. That's Mom's Restaurant and Pub.
Heading into the bottom of the second inning, Cavs trailing 4-0. Game 2. They've already dropped game 1. They don't want to fall any further back. Due up for the Cavaliers in the bottom of the second inning, Logan Hesselman, Carter Veith, and Cade Mueller.
Logan Hesselman.
Hesselman went 0 for 1. He also walked a couple times and was hit by the pitch in game 1. He did get an RBI. And he looks at the first one for a strike. And there's a fly ball out towards center field. Moving over is Lucas Steinmetz, and he makes the catch. One down. It's going to bring up the designated hitter, Carter Veith. Veith went 1 for 4 with a single to left in game 1. And that pitch is low and away for ball 1. And that one's high for ball 2. 2 balls and no strikes to Carter Veith. Here's the pitch. And that was inside. Three balls, no strikes. And there's a strike call. Veith taking all the way. Now he's got a hitter's pitch coming his way. And there's a ground ball up the middle for a base hit. That's why they call it the hitter's pitch. And Veith is on with a single. And that'll bring up Cade Mueller. Mueller came into game 1 to replace Ashton Kroll, who banged into the outfield fence. Mueller did have 2 appearances at the plate, went 0 for 2. Throw over to first, and Veith is back safely. And the pitch is inside. One ball, no strikes. Pitch is high for ball 2. There's the pitch, and it's high and away for ball 3. PJ Lakoya going pretty deep into these counts. The 3-0 pitch. Throw over to first instead. Veith is back. And the pitch. Inside for a ball. So, Cade Mueller draws the walk. And that's going to bring up Carson Windeshausen. Windeshausen went 0 for 2 flew out and fouled out. He also drew a walk and scored a run.
Number 49, Carson Park.
And Jordan Steinmetz wanted to go out and have a talk. Jordan Steinmetz behind the plate for the Tilden Tigers. And there's a called strike on the outside corner. Lakoya at the belt and delivers and fouled back into the net. Just off to our right. No balls, 2 strikes, and the pitch. Strike 3 called. Windeshausen goes down looking. That'll bring up Jerome Delikowski. Delikowski is batting .148 on the season. He did not play in game 1. Swing and a miss. Oh, fouled it off. Lakoya at the belt. That's high and away for a ball. 2 runners on, 2 down. 1-1's the count to Jerome Delikowski. And the pitch. That one's fouled straight back into the net. Ball and 2 strikes. And the pitch. That's high. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 down, 2 on. Second inning. Enough 2s for you there, Jay?
Whoa, yeah.
And that's a called 3rd strike. Delikowski didn't like it. And that's it for the Cavs in the second inning. No runs on 1 hit, no errors. 2 were left on base. We've played 2, and it's the Tilden Tigers 4, Cavaliers nothing on NLWN-TV.
Let NLWN-TV take you out to the ballgame. Our next broadcast will be on Wednesday, July 2nd, when we will bring you the Cavaliers taking on the Augusta Athletics from Jan Kruger Memorial Field in Augusta, Wisconsin. Live coverage on NLWN-TV begins with the In the Dugout show at 6:30 p.m. That's Eau Claire Cavalier baseball on Wednesday, July 2nd on NLWN-TV.
Get in touch with the roots of the Chippewa Valley at the Chippewa Valley Museum, located in Eau Claire's Carson Park, with a mission of connecting people to their community and inspire curiosity. From reinventing the Chippewa Valley, a century of change in farm life, the Farmhouse Theater, along with the Wisconsin Logging Museum and Logging Camp. Also, the Chippewa Valley Museum features special temporary exhibits and traveling exhibits, as well as web exhibits. The Chippewa Valley Museum is open Tuesdays through Saturdays. Call for more information at 715-834-7871.
Want to remind you that the summer hours are now in effect at the Chippewa Valley Museum, and check out those hours at cvmuseum.com for more information. Also, don't forget that the museum is participating in the National Blue Star Museums program presented by the National Endowment for the Arts and Blue Star families through the Blue Star Museum's active duty military personnel, including National Guard, reserves, and their families, get free museum admission. So to take us through the middle innings, I'm going to just hand it off here to Jay Fall, who's still trying to figure out his scorebook. So, good luck, folks. Hang on for the ride.
Thanks, Rick. Well, Jake Lakoya is the leadoff batter here in the third inning. That I can confirm by visual, so we're good there. He was, first time he was up, he was out unassisted at first base, and the first pitch, a ball. And a shot out to center field. Back to get under it is Bemnister for the first out. So that will bring up Nick Rooney, who is in right field, and I've confirmed that visually too. So we're good. So we're in good shape. He struck out in the first inning. And swing and a miss for strike one, a big swing. So
you could almost say strike four.
Strike four, yeah. Tilden leading 4-0 over the Eau Claire Cavs. That pitch down the middle for strike two.
That was a nice breaking ball that time by Cooper Dykes. Started inside and worked its way over.
And that ball hit over to third, picked up by Mueller. The throw to first. Got him!
Oh, and he didn't like that call. Oh, my goodness. Nick Rooney is upset. And
I just call him as I see him.
Yes, you do. Yes, you do. Camden Bloom called him out, and he called it like he saw it, too.
Ben Metler now up for the Tigers. He's the shortstop, struck out in the second inning when he was up last. And that one fouled straight back, and Knickerbocker is back there, but it hits the net. 2 outs, 0-1 count to the shortstop, Ben Metler. And that one grounded over to shortstop area. Throw to first. Got him. 3 up, 3 down for the Tilden Tigers. No runs, no hits, no Cavalier errors, and no runners left on base. Score at the end of 2.5. Tilden Tigers 4, Eau Claire Cavaliers nothing on NLWN-TV.
If you're buzzed and doing this, to make yourself feel okay to drive,
ZWX.
You're not okay to drive.
YGKLVW. Regular you.
The Eau Claire Cavaliers would like to take veterans out to the ball game. That's right. As a thank you for your service, any veteran of the United States military can receive a lifetime pass for free admission to all Cavalier home games. Just come to Carson Park with your veteran identification, and the Cavaliers will issue you a free lifetime pass to all Cavalier home games. That's just the Cavaliers' way of saying thank you for your service.
Welcome back to Carson Park. We're in the bottom of the third inning, so that's the Cavaliers' half of the inning. And due up are Riley Gopinski, Brayton Tillman, and Xavier Bemnister.
Cavs need to cluster some hits together and get some runs on the board.
Gopinski was 0 for 2 in the first game. Swing and a miss for strike one.
The scary thing is that P.J. Lakoya could be finding his groove. But not there.
Yeah, that one to short right field. A nice base hit for Riley Gopinski. Good start for the Cavs. Now we're at the top of the order. In the bottom of the third, Brayton Tillman, who was put out at first. That pitch outside, ball one. Kapinski at first. Takes a few steps off. LaCoya is going to take a look. Fires in, and that one, ball two. In comes the pitch. That one fouled down the first baseline.
That really wasn't foul by much. Came dangerously close to going over the bag, and which it would have been extra bases because it just shot down into that right field corner.
LaCoya checks first. In comes the pitch, and it hits Tillman, so he gets a free base. Also advancing Gapinski to second. And the batter, Xavier Bemnister, trying to get the syllables out a little early. He had a base hit in the first inning when he was up last.
Yeah, it was that shot deep to shortstop, and Mettler couldn't quite make the play.
Strike on Bemnister.
Yeah, he showed bunt. Cavs looking to maybe manufacture some runs here.
Bemnister was 2 for 4 in the first game with an RBI. And strike two comes in. Counts 0-2. Runners on first and second. Kapinski and Tillman. LaCoya looks back, and a shot. Oh, to short left field. Rounding third, or heading to third, is Gapinski, and no play will be made. The bases are loaded.
It wasn't quite deep enough to let him score from second. They didn't want to test that arm of Lucas Steinmetz out in left field, especially with Caden Erickson coming to the plate.
And Caden flew out to left field. He also represents the tying run. That one outside and high for ball one. Tilden Tigers lead 4-0. Strike on the outside corner. Tilden won the first game 7-4. And that one hit right to the second baseman for out number one. To Jake LaCria.
I think they say it's LaCoya.
LaCoya, okay.
The catcher, Sam Knickerbocker.
Sam Knickerbocker now the cleanup batter up for the Cavs. And one of the South CRBL All-Stars. He flew out to shortstop last time he was up. That one caught the outside edge for strike one. Base is still loaded, one out. And strike two. Across the plate. 0-2 to Sam Knickerbocker. And Knickerbocker with a shot out to right field and over the top of Nick Rooney. One run will score. Coming in is Tillman, and a two-run double for Sam Knickerbocker.
Yeah, Rooney basically misjudged that, and he took a few steps in, and it carried a little better than he thought it was going to. Went over his outstretched glove and all the way to the wall.
So the Cavaliers close the gap as Logan Hesselman comes to the plate.
Brian Bemnister giving the fans a hard time. Knickerbocker gets replaced by a courtesy runner. And I didn't see the number of who went out there.
22. And that's Trenton Palmer. First pitch, a strike. So, yeah, Ryan Bemnister coaching everywhere in the stands and on the field. Next pitch goes outside for ball one. 1-1 the count.
Do we call that multitasking?
I would.
Okay.
That one a ball, 2-1. Yeah, me keeping a scorebook and watching the game. Multitasking.
Yeah, exactly.
That one foul tipped. Strike two. So Xavier Bemnister is on third. Sam Knickerbocker, no. Trenton Palmer as a courtesy runner for Sam Knickerbocker on second. That pitch hit out to left field, and getting under it is Lucas Steinmetz. And going in to score is Xavier Bemnister. And so that's a sacrifice fly to left field.
With an RBI.
With an RBI.
Well, of course, in order for it to be a sacrifice fly, you have to have the RBI. But
okay. So now up Carter Veith. Veith had a single last time he was up, and that one will fly out to left or to first to end the inning. But the Cavaliers score 3 runs on 3 hits. There were no errors by the Tigers, and 1 runner left. Score at the end of 3 complete innings of play. The Tilden Tigers 4, the Eau Claire Cavaliers 3 on NLWN-TV.
Can't believe you're doing this alone. I've done it before. I remember. You threw your back out. How you holding up? Hand me that board. Nothing wrong with getting help. I'm good. I did it when Felicia left. I'll figure it out. I know you will, but you don't have to do it alone. That's all I'm saying. If I promise to look into it, will you drop it and help me build this fence? Now you need my help. It can be a real pain sometimes, you know that? Mm-hmm.
If you or a veteran you know needs support, don't wait. Reach out. Find resources at va.gov/reach.
Welcome back to Carson Park. We're at Glen St. Arnold Day, which is sponsored by Pine Meadow Golf. Had some great prizes here and that sort of thing. St. Arnold family here.
And of course, Glenn, one of the founders of the Cavaliers.
First manager. So leading off for Tillman is Ben Steinmetz, as he looks at a strike. He had a base hit to right in the second inning. And gets a little piece of that one for strike 2. And his ball hit out to right field, and that is caught by Windeshausen for out number 1. So Jordan Steinmetz, the catcher, who was hit by a pitch and had a double in his 2 previous at-bats, Brings us to the top of the lineup for the Tigers in the fourth inning. Dykes looks, sends it in, outside, ball one. Second one, hit by a pitch. So Jordan Steinmetz advances to first. I was going to say that Dykes had calmed down a little bit from the second inning when he hit two batters. And that is hit batter number 3.
4.
That pitch low in the dirt for ball 1. That one also outside, ball 2. And Jordan Steinmetz got back in time. 2-0 count. Takes a lead, pitch goes in. That one popped up to the third baseman. And that is Cade Mueller.
Catch.
Two outs, and the designated hitter, Jack Gorman, comes to the plate. He had an RBI single in the first and flew out to second in the second inning. That pitch catches the outside edge for strike 1. Pitch comes in, throw goes back to first, and Jordan Steinmetz gets back.
That was a much closer play than it looked, because the tag Hesselman tried to put on him was like a reverse tag inside out and almost got that arm coming in.
Throw back to first. Jordan Steinmetz gets back. And that pitch looked good, but it must have fallen low, ball 2.
I was going to say, that had to be low because it was right down the middle.
Yep.
It bisected the plate.
And going to second, and that ball popped up, and it's not caught. Rounding third, headed for home. In is Jordan Steinmetz.
That's a tough catch. They did give him the hit.
First baseman Jacob Lacey.
So Jacob Lacey, the first baseman, now batting for Tilden, number 19. Tilden's now increased their lead a bit, 5-3 over the Cavaliers. Another shot out to right field, and it's caught at second base to end the inning. So in the top of the fourth, there is 1 run on 1 hit. There were no Cavalier errors and 1 base runner left. Score at the end of 3.5 innings. The Tilden Tigers 5, the Eau Claire Cavaliers 3 on NLWN-TV.
In November of 2018, our daughter Jana passed away. The outpouring of support was unbelievable. Support that we received inspired us to start a foundation called the Jana Kelly Memorial Foundation. And through that foundation,
we've given back in a lot of different ways, through projects, through different other charities that we've supported. We like to help Humane Association, and the Ronald McDonald House is something that's very near and dear to us. We've also recently, this last year, we actually built a tiny house. It's really exciting to be able to give back in different ways.
to learn more or to help financially, would find us on Facebook or www.janakelly.com.
Welcome back to Carson Park. Coming up in the bottom of the fourth for the Eau Claire Cavaliers, Kate Mueller, Carson Windenshausen, and Jerome Delikowski. And Kate Mueller, the third baseman, who walked the first time he was up, is hoping to have his first at-bat here. And that one drops into short center field for a base hit.
Good solid contact that time and put it right where they weren't playing.
So Carson Windenshausen is now the batter, and he is the right fielder. Carson struck out last time he was up. And that one drops by the third baseman into left field for a base hit for him, for Windenshausen.
Just out of the reach of Nolan Byer's glove.
Jerome Delikowski now up. He is the extra hitter. Mueller on second, Windenshausen on first, and that ball hit to first. The throw to second, and he dropped the ball, and everybody's safe.
That's going to be an error on the throw. Actually, Delikowski is on a fielder's choice.
So Cavaliers have the bases loaded.
With nobody out.
Yep. And
chance to do some serious damage here.
That would be awesome. Riley Gopinski is up. And he had a base hit to right when he was up in the third inning last. So
that would be the kind of damage that would be really nice to see right now, too.
Yep. Cavs dropped the first game to the Tilden Tigers by a score of 7-4. Looking for the split. And that ball
should be infield fly rule. It is.
Yep. That caught by Ben Metler, and that will bring up Brayton Tillman, top of the order. Tillman 0 for 1. He was put out at first, and a base hit out to, or a hit out to right field. Fly ball.
Big
Everybody
base
stays
running
hooked.
mistake that time by Cade Mueller. He was about halfway down the line. Any fly ball into the outfield when you're standing on third, you get back on the bag immediately so that as soon as he catches it, you're off. He caught the ball. He had to run halfway back to third. There was no way for him to advance. That's a big base running mistake.
Xavier Bemnister with a shot out to left center. 1 run will score. 2 runs will score. Bemnister standing up at second with a 2-run double.
Delikowski chugging into third, using every bit of speed he has. Granted, the account is pretty low there, but
just
Caden Erickson.
90 feet to go. Caden Erickson. Caden flew out twice to left field. But the ball game is tied at 5 between the Eau Claire Cavaliers and the Tilden Tigers.
Bemnister asked for timeout at second to get his shoe tied.
Caden Erickson watches one catch the outside corner for strike one. 1-1. Pitch comes in. That one over the second baseman's head. 1 run in. 2 runs in. A 2-run single for Caden Erickson. So now the Cavaliers have their first lead of the afternoon, 7-5.
And we have a new pitcher coming in as we get this all figured out. We'll take this time out on NLWN-TV.
For some vintage baseball with the Menominee Blue Caps. Our next broadcast will be on Monday, July 7th, as the Blue Caps will be in action from Liberty Fest in Chautauqua, Wisconsin. Coverage begins at 7 p.m. That's Vintage Baseball, Monday, July 7th, on NLWN-TV.
I'm Chris Jakomick. I served in the United States Air Force and I deployed 3 times. So in 2017, I was serving as an Air Force First Sergeant. Our motto in that role is, my job is people, everyone is my business. But unfortunately in that year, I would lose my own brother, Lance Corporal Adam Jakomick, to suicide. The majority of veteran suicides are from guns. I store my weapons securely, not only for myself, but for my family. My service never stops.
Being a cowboy, well, I don't know anything different. I had a very successful career. Life was fast. I was preparing physically. I wasn't doing anything mentally. And then I got hurt. I dug into mental health. I wanted to be better as a person. I start my day with a workout. I live life 8 seconds at a time. Find a place to stop and just breathe. Love your mind.
My name's Stacy, I'm 57, and I was adopted in 2020. One teen can come in and make you look at life in a whole different way.
You know, he's my father, so I look up to him a lot. If I can be 10% of the man he is, I'll be a happy person for sure.
Learn about adopting a teen from foster care. You can't imagine the reward. Visit adoptuskids.org.
I don't think that many kids in my son's school even do it.
He makes fun of his friend who vapes.
He would never try it.
She's into soccer. She's on the honor roll. She's just not the type.
No way.
No way. No way.
No way. My kid would never vape.
Get your head out of it.
Okay. Sam Knickerbocker facing a new pitcher.
Ben Mettler.
Ben Mettler.
Mettler, as I'm looking here, somewhere, I've got him on my list here. I know I do, because
yeah, he's here, but we don't have any pitching stats.
No, there are. So this is his first appearance in a CRBL game. It also means Jordan Steinmetz went out to shortstop to replace Mettler there, and the Tigers have burned the DH because Gorman is now back behind the plate.
So Knickerbocker, a 2-run double last time he was up. Last inning, and he flew out to the shortstop. 2 outs, Caden Erickson with a lead off of first. Pitch comes in. That one falls low. Ball 4.
So, I believe Palmer is going to be courtesy running. Ryan Bemnister had a few things to say to him because I think for a moment there he was out in La La Land.
Yeah, he was inquiring if he was napping.
He's preparing. Oh, yeah, he's mentally getting himself ready.
Meditation,
right?
yeah.
We'll go with that.
Logan Hesselman is the batter. That pitch falls low, ball one. Hesselman had a sac fly to left and flew out to left. So he had 1 RBI. That pitch right down the middle for strike number 1. Cavs up 7-5 over Tilden. Next pitch, that one hit out to center field. Coming to get it is Ben Steinmetz, and that is the third out of the 4th inning. So the Cavaliers score 4 runs on 4 hits. There were no errors and 2 left. So score at the end of 4 complete innings of play. The Eau Claire Cavaliers 7, the Tilden Tigers 5 on NLWN-TV.
When people are fed, futures are nourished. They can connect with the world around them, unlock endless possibilities, and thrive. Join the movement to end hunger. Volunteer. Advocate. Donate. Go to feedingamerica.org/actnow.
The roar of our engines, the pump of our heartbeats, the pedal to our metal. The sparks that ignite us, the pistons that push us, the passions that drive us, on the roads that unite us. Napa has America's largest network of parts and care, here to be the fuel that keeps you firing on all cylinders.
Visit either of Eau Claire's 2 locally owned Napa Auto Parts stores on Highway 93 or North Claremont Avenue.
We're in the top of the 5th inning. The visiting Tilden Tigers coming up in the nightcap of this doubleheader. Tilden won the first one, but the Cavs are leading in this one 7-5. And due up for the Tigers are Nolan Byer, Jake Lakoya, and Nick Rooney. Byer had a sac fly and an RBI the first time he was up and got on by a fielder's choice in the 2nd inning. Sun back out, that one right down the street for strike 1.
You know, I've never been quite so happy to see the weatherman be wrong.
Yeah, we had some clouds. That was about it. Ball hit short, picked up by the pitcher, and the throw to first. Dykes to Hesselman. Retires Byer. Now Jake Lakoya, who flew out to center field and was put out at first unassisted, will now bat. First pitch comes in. Lakoya, big swing and a miss, strike 1. Next pitch comes in. Ball chopped over to third. Mueller over to Hesselman. Out number 2. Now Nick Rooney, the right fielder, is up for the Tigers. Rooney struck out in the first inning and was thrown out from third base in the 3rd inning. We are in the bottom of the 5th, 2 outs. First pitch inside for ball 1.
That was pretty close to that inside corner.
Mm-hmm. Next pitch, and that one hit foul down the third base side, and the Great Lakes aren't so great anymore.
It did sneak between them, though.
It did, yes. 1-1 count to Rooney with 2 outs. That one chopped down the first base side, and taking it unassisted is Hesselman. 3 up, 3 down for the Tilden Tigers. No runs, no hits, no Cavalier errors, no base runners. Score at the end of 4.5. The Eau Claire Cavaliers 7, the Tilden Tigers 5 on NLWN-TV.
Mom's Restaurant and Pub in Colfax has just what you need when you have that craving for a home-cooked meal the way Mom used to make it. Mom's is open from 7 a.m. to 3 p.m. daily and until 9 on Fridays with a complete breakfast menu. Lunch includes sandwiches, salads, wraps, and burgers, along with Mom's comfort food favorites, and don't forget dinner on Fridays with Mom's famous fish fry. The coffee always hot, the breakfast always delicious, and lunch puts a smile on your face. 225 Bremer Avenue, Colfax. Call 715-962-4617. That's Mom's Restaurant and Pub in Colfax.
Honey, the kids are antsy. What can we do that will keep all of us entertained and won't break the bank?
How about we take them to the Cavaliers game? Tickets are inexpensive, there's popcorn, hot dogs, and other baseball treats, and great baseball action.
That's right, Eau Claire Cavalier Baseball, your best choice for affordable family entertainment. Check out the schedule at www.eauclaircavaliers.org.
It's the Cavs, half of the 5th inning, the bottom. They have a 2-run lead. Cavaliers have 7 runs, 9 hits, and an error. The Tilden Tigers in this second game have 5 runs on 5 hits and an error, and due up for the Cavaliers now, Carter Veith, Cade Mueller, and Carson Windeshausen. And to start it out in the 5th inning, Carter Veith, the DH. He had a base hit to center and flew out to first. And that one, a strike.
Billy McKnight has been very consistent with his strike zone, but he's been giving that outside corner to the right-handed hitters.
And strike 2 goes foul.
It's one of those you just have to be aware going up to the plate that that outside corner is going to get called a strike.
That pitch right down the middle for strike 3, and the Cavaliers first out in the 5th. That brings Cade Mueller up. Mueller had a had a base hit to center and walked. So he's 0 for 1. No, 1 for 1. And that one blooped into right field. Nice base hit.
Just about 5 feet inside the right field line. Nobody could get there.
So 2 hits for Cade Mueller. 2 for 2 with the walk, and Carson Windeshausen, it comes up. Carson had a base hit to left field and struck out. Swing and a miss, strike 1.
Big swing that time by Carson. Still wants to make up for that one that went off the top of the fence and didn't quite get out of the ballpark a couple games back.
That one outside in the dirt, ball 1. 1-1-1. 1 runner on.
Pocket full of aces, huh?
That's right. That one, foul tip, strike 2. Sun back out. It's been kind of in and out today. Probably keeping the heat down.
Actually, a beautiful day for baseball. A little on the muggy side, but gentle breeze blowing straight out.
And he watches that pitch go low and outside for ball 2. 2-2 to Carson Windeshausen.
His body language said he had a notion on that. He was very interested in that pitch, but didn't go after it.
And that one tipped foul. Still 2-2. 1 out for the Cavaliers. Wednesday night, Cavs are at Augusta. You can see it here on NLWN-TV starting at 6:30 with the In the Dugout show from Jan Krieger Field in Augusta.
I know I'm going to be there getting some of those award-winning hot dogs.
That ball into the dirt, full count, 3-2.
Yeah, they got the top dog award from last season. And they were so excited to get that award down there in Augusta.
Well, they'll have to come hungry then.
They let Dan throw out the first pitch because we gave them the award.
Oh, wow. That ball hit into center field for a base hit. Back-to-back hits for the Cavs. That advances Mueller to second, and now the extra hitter, Jerome Delikowski.
Delikowski grounded into a fielder's choice, but the Tigers committed their error on that play, and everybody was safe.
And he also got to score in the last inning. Delikowski pops one up high, going back to get it. Jordan Steinmetz.
Off the net.
Well, strike one.
We couldn't see it, but I could feel the net get hit by the ball as I stood up to look.
The net's not pulling on the front side of the press box, is it? Or?
I wouldn't lean too hard, Jake.
In comes the pitch. That one catches the outside corner. 0-2 for Jerome Delikowski. That ball goes low. Ball one, 1-2. Check back to second. Mettler throws. That ball hit to right center. Getting underneath it is Nick Rooney.
Close play at third. Nope.
That will, Kate Mueller will advance safely. So Delikowski flies out to right. That brings up Riley Kopinski, the second baseman, who flew out to shortstop and had a base hit to right.
Now, for those of you scoring at home, that is not a sacrifice fly, even though the runner advanced, because you have to score on a sacrifice fly. That rule change, if I'm not mistaken, came sometime when I was like elementary school or something. And they were just getting too many sacrifice flies, so they made it so that you have to score a run on a sacrifice fly. Sacrifice bunt, advance the runner, that's fine.
And going to second is, and he's
and they called a balk. The base umpire called it a balk. And now they're going to talk. One umpire said balk, the other one did not. And they're having a good discussion about it. It looks like Billy McKnight is kind of explaining things. But Camden Bloom is the one who called a balk. And now Tilden's not liking the call, and so I think the balk call is going to stand. And Tilden is still arguing about it. And Tilden's still complaining. The umpires are still talking.
And Brendan Berezina being asked to step back.
It's the, and Dan's over here saying it correctly, it's the movement that he made and whether he stepped off the rubber first. And that's what they're talking about.
Yeah, you have to step off the rubber first.
And they're having this discussion still. It's a pretty critical discussion because if it's a balk, the Cavs score a run and Windishausen will be on second. If it's not, Windishausen will be out and the inning will be over. No balk is the call, and so Windishausen is caught stealing for the third out of the inning. So for the Cavaliers, they pick up no runs on 2 hits, no errors, and 1 left on base. That's the end of 5, and it's the Cavaliers 7 and Tilden 5 on NLWN-TV.
The Eau Claire Cavaliers would like to take veterans out to the ball game. That's right, as a thank you for your service. Any veteran of the United States military can receive a lifetime pass for free admission to all Cavalier home games. Just come to Carson Park with your veteran identification, and the Cavaliers will issue you a free lifetime pass to all Cavalier home games. That's just the Cavaliers' way of saying thank you for your service.
Auto Vision Center in Eau Claire, your source for auto glass repair and replacement. Their quality work comes complete with a lifetime warranty on workmanship. When it comes to windshield repair and replacement, Auto Vision Center provides mobile auto glass services with free estimates. So if your windshield needs help, call Auto Vision Center today. That's Auto Vision Center at 1631 North Claremont in Eau Claire. Call 715-834-5277.
Welcome back to Carson Park in Eau Claire, and there's still a discussion down near home plate between the umpires and Ryan Bemnister. And to take us the rest of the way in today's game, here's Rick Olson.
Well, after a fairly lengthy discussion last inning, Ryan Bemnister wasn't really upset. He just wanted a clear explanation of what they called. And they eventually decided there was no balk, which meant that Carson Windishausen was out trying to steal second. And he was out by a long shot. It wasn't even close. And had the balk stood, that would have been another run for the Cavaliers. But as it is, we go into the 6th inning, Cavaliers leading 7-5. And to lead things off is the pitcher, Ben Mettler. Mettler is 0 for 2, struck out and grounded to third. And there's a called strike. Here's the pitch. Swing and a miss. He chased one. That's a slider off the zone, and he chased after it. It looked like it was coming mid-plate and just broke away. That one a little too far outside and a little bit too low and a little bit behind Knickerbocker. 1-2 is the count. Mettler still looking for his first CRBL hit. Swing and a miss for strike 3. That's going to bring up Ben Steinmetz. Steinmetz is 1 for 2. Singled to right and flew out to right. That pitch is outside for a ball. Cooper Dykes working quickly on the mound. Steinmetz shows bunt. It goes foul, and Knickerbocker grabs it before it can do anything else. Ball and a strike. Ben Steinmetz trying to get a bunt single. Caught Mueller playing fairly deep at third. Wouldn't be surprised to see him try it again. Here's the pitch. It's outside for a ball. Two balls and a strike. Strike called. Counts even at 2-2. Dykes delivers. And there's a fly ball out into right field. Windeshausen goes over. He makes the catch and slides afterward. That's going to take us back to the top of the order. Jordan Steinmetz. Well, some books might say he's got 3 hits. One was a double. The other 2 were the ball hitting him. And it just got him again. That's 3 times he was hit by the pitch.
Jordan Steinmetz came in batting .706, so I don't think they mind him not getting an at-bat.
Yeah, I would never accuse a pitcher of doing that on purpose. But pitching around him is not the worst idea in the world.
Yeah, for sure.
And Billy McKnight is giving a bench warning to the Tilden bench. Somebody made a comment. Steinmetz takes his lead at first. Dykes delivers. That missed outside for a ball. This is Lucas Steinmetz. And there's a strike called. He popped out to third his last time up. And that one missed inside. 2 balls and a strike. 2 down, runner on first. And the pitch. Strike 2 called. That one got the outside corner. 2 balls, 2 strikes. 2 down, runner on first. That's Jordan Steinmetz on first. He goes. And strike 3 called. On the outside edge. And Lucas Steinmetz having words for Billy McKnight. And he goes down looking, and that's going to do it for the Tilden Tigers. After 5.5, it's the Cavaliers 7, Tigers 5 on NLWN-TV.
If your estate isn't looking quite estate-like, let Midwest Environmental Consultants landscape your estate right up to snuff with installation of retaining walls, brick patios, foundation planting beds, and so much more. Then they'll keep it that way with their expert lawn care service. Call Midwest Environmental Consultants at 608-468-2067. Let Midwest Environmental Consultants help make your estate the showplace of the neighborhood.
You're tuned to the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN-TV. We use advertising revenue to make this service available to you. If you have a business and would like to get your message out to our ever-increasing audience, give us a call at 715-563-1749. We'll be happy to discuss our budget-friendly advertising packages with you. Get your business noticed on the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN-TV by calling 715-563-1749.
So we're back here at Carson Park, heading into the bottom of the 6th inning. Cavs on top, 7-5 in game 2. Cavs drop game 1, 7-4 to the Tigers. So now trying to gain the split of the doubleheader. Cavs have a doubleheader to make up with the Bloomer Woodticks, and we're hoping to find out about that fairly quickly. Also on the 19th of July, I want to let you know that on that date, the Cavs will be concluding the game that got suspended with the Cadott Red Sox. Stepping up for the Cavaliers, Riley Gopinski, 1 for 2. He was at the plate when Windeshausen got thrown out. First pitch is outside for a ball. And the pitch, that's outside, ball 2. Ben Metler on the mound in his first CRBL appearance. And the pitch, that's down low for a ball. 3 balls and no strikes. Cavs would like to get a few base runners and build on that lead a little bit. Get an insurance run or 2. And strike called on the inside corner. Three balls and a strike. Hitter's pitch for Gopinski. Metler delivers. And it's down low for ball 4. So Brayton Tillman comes to the plate. Throw over to first, and Kopinski's back. Tillman 0 for 2 in this game. And that one got him in the back. That's the second time in this game he's been hit by the pitch. And he sprints down to first base. So Xavier Bemnister comes to the plate. Bemnister has a 3-hit game going in this game. Got out on an infield hit, then he singled to left and hit a 2 RBI double to center field his last time up. And that's inside. That almost got him. And the pitch. That's a strike called on the inside corner. 1 ball, 1 strike to Xavier Bemnister. And the pitch. Outside for a ball. There's some activity going on down in the Tilden bullpen. And that pitch is outside. 3-1's the count.
I think that's Brendan Brezina, number 12.
You are right. That's who it is.
Brezina is 1-0 with a 1.14 or 1.41 ERA in 11 innings, 11 and a third that he's pitched.
Swing and a miss, strike 2. And down to third goes Kopinski with a stolen base. So the count is full with nobody out to Xavier Bemnister. And runner goes. And the pitch is inside for ball 4. So Bemnister draws the walk. And the bases are loaded for Caden Erickson. Caden Erickson, the Colfax native who graduated from Hamlin University. 1 for 3. That pitch is inside. Of course, we kind of like that. Cassie and I are both Colfax natives. Jay won't mind. He's a Menominee native.
Yeah, that's pretty close to Colfax.
Yeah, Colfax suburb of Menominee, right? And then we have Dan. Dan's still trying to find where he fits in.
Cleghorn U.
Yeah, Cleghorn U, right? Hey, at least you got the mention in the Beetlejuice movie.
Yeah, that's right, yeah.
2 balls, no strikes to Caden Erickson. And the pitch. Swing and a miss. He was looking to send that one for a ride. 2-1. Mettler looks in and delivers. Down low for a ball. Hitter's pitch now coming for Caden Erickson. And the pitch. And it's inside, and an RBI walk to Erickson. As Gopinski comes in to score, and we're going to have a conference at the mound. Bases are still loaded with nobody out. And it does look like we're going to get a pitching change. And we are. And coming in will be Brendan Brazina. And he'll be coming into the lineup for Mettler. And we'll get the rest figured out right after this timeout on NLWN-TV.
Let NLWN-TV take you out to the ballgame. Our next broadcast will be on Wednesday, July 2nd, when we will bring you the Cavaliers taking on the Augusta Athletics from Jan Kruger Memorial Field in Augusta, Wisconsin. Live coverage on NLWN-TV begins with the In the Dugout show at 6:30 p.m. That's Eau Claire Cavalier baseball on Wednesday, July 2nd on NLWN-TV.
Adding your own flavor to fashion comes with age.
Okay, Dad, look at you.
Yeah, welcome. Hi.
Forgetting how to add doesn't. Finding it difficult to work with numbers may be a sign of Alzheimer's.
Dad, are you okay?
An early diagnosis can help improve the quality of life for your loved one. Learn the warning signs of Alzheimer's. Some things come with age, some others don't.
Brendan Brazina now on the mound for the Tilden Tigers. Sam Knickerbocker at the plate as the Blue Angels just left town, flying over the top of us. And the first pitch was a called strike to Sam Knickerbocker. And there's a shot out into right center field for a base hit. 2 runs are going to come in. And a 2 RBI single. And it brought in Brayton Tillman and Xavier Bemnister. Those 2 runs are charged to Mettler. Palmer comes in to run. Yeah, those are also Mettler's runs. So he now has 3 runs. All 3 are earned. And the first pitch is outside to Logan Hesselman. And that pitch caught the outside corner. Cavs on top 10-5. We're in the bottom of the 6th inning. And there's a fly ball foul on the left side. Eli Rathke warming up in the Cavalier bullpen. Cavs are hoping they don't need him. They'd like to have him available for the game in Augusta on Wednesday. And that was inside, got past Gorman, and the runners each advance on the wild pitch. So Erickson's on third, and Palmer's on second. Pitch is high and away for a ball. 3 balls, 2 strikes, nobody out. 3 runs in for the Cavs. Logan Hesselman at the plate. And the payoff pitch. And that got him. So that'll load the bases back up and bring up Carter Veith.
Designated hitter Carter Veith.
So Carter Veith is 1 for 3 today. And the pitch is outside for a ball. Brendan Brzezina trying to find the strike zone. They gave him that one. Billy McKnight says it caught the outside corner. 1 ball, 1 strike. Here's the 1-1. There's a fly ball foul on the right side. Over into the bullpen area. Ball and 2 strikes to Carter Veith. Veith struck out his last time up. And the pitch. Ground ball over to short. Flip to second for 1. Throw to first. Not in time. So, Veith is on a fielder's choice. 6-4. As Hesselman is out at second. And Caden Erickson came in to score. So we'll give Veith an RBI. And Cade Mueller comes to the plate. That one's high for a ball. Oh, he called it a strike. No balls in a strike. Runners on the corners. That pitch is high and away for a ball. Trenton Palmer's on third. Carter Veith is on first. And the pitch. Veith goes, swing and a miss, throw it on to second, and he's safe there. No, they say got him. Run scored. Now, I think they're calling interference on the hitter. So, Mueller is going to be out on batter interference. And that forces both runners back to where they came from. So again, we have runners on the corners, and Carson Windeshausen comes to the plate. He's got a 2-hit game going for him. Throw over to first. Veith is back. Palmer is back on third. And that pitch is inside. And they called it a strike. It broke across the plate. Windeshausen thought it was going to get him in the butt cheek, and it didn't. It broke across the plate. Here's the pitch. There's a strike called. No balls, 2 strikes, 2 down. Brendan Brzezina looks in for the sign. And the pitch. There's a high pop-up, foul territory. Moving over and making the catch over there at first base is Jacob Lacey. So for the Cavaliers, they pick up 4 runs on 1 hit. There were no errors, and 2 were left on base. So we've played 6 complete, and it's the Cavaliers 11 and the Tilden Tigers 5.
Get in touch with the
on
roots of the
NLWN-TV.
Chippewa Valley at the Chippewa Valley Museum, located in Eau Claire's Carson Park, with a mission of connecting people to their community and inspire curiosity. From reinventing the Chippewa Valley, a century of change in farm life, the Farmhouse Theater, along with the Wisconsin Logging Museum and Logging Camp. Also, the Chippewa Valley Museum features special temporary exhibits and traveling exhibits, as well as web exhibits. The Chippewa Valley Museum is open Tuesdays through Saturdays. Call for more information at 715-834-7871.
Next Sunday, July 6th, the Chippewa Valley Museum invites you to bring a chair or blanket and join them for Music on the Lawn. This is a special program offered by the museum free of charge each Sunday in July. Next Sunday's performer will be singer-songwriter Andy Hansen. That's 2 to 3 p.m. at the Chippewa Valley Museum.
And the best part of that is it's all free. And went to that last year, went to a very funky, weird one last year. It was really interesting. They were playing the big glass bowls of different sizes and stuff, and the tunes that they were eerie, but it was fascinating, and it was a lot of fun. Nice bunch of people there. It was a decent crowd. There was a hot dog truck there. Unfortunately, the Chippewa Valley Museum doesn't get to qualify for our hot top dog award because those are pretty good dogs. But, yeah, it was a good time. Look forward to going back for some of those on days when the Cavs don't have games on Sunday afternoons. Leading off the top of the 7th inning, final at-bats for the Tilden Tigers. If the Cavs can hang on, Jack Gorman, he's 2 for 3 in this second game. Cooper Dykes hoping to go the distance. And that pitch missed outside. Here's the pitch. There's a chopper foul on the left side. 1 ball and 1 strike. Jack Gorman, the catcher. There's a ground ball over to third, and it bounced over the top of Mueller. It took a bad hop. Mueller was trying to play it on the hop, and it went over the top of him. That's going to be a base hit. And Jacob Lacey coming to the plate. He's 1 for 2. Got on an infield hit over towards first, and then popped out to second. That pitch missed inside for a ball. Cavs up by 6. Dykes throws over to first. Gorman's back in. Here's the pitch. Ground ball over towards second. Gets underneath the glove of Gopinski. Throw over to third is not going to be in time. So there's a base hit to right by Jacob Lacey. And it moved Gorman over to third. It's going to bring up Nolan Byer. Tilden Tigers not going to lay down and play dead just yet. Eli Rathke finished warming up down in the Cavalier bullpen. Nolan Byer is 0 for 2 in this game. First pitch misses outside. Runners on the corners. Corbin on third. Lacey on first. Dykes at the belt, and he delivers. There's a fly ball out into center field. Bemnister comes in, makes a catch, makes a throw toward the plate that gets cut off. And so a sacrifice fly for Byer. And that scores Gorman. And the Cavs are going to have a conference. It looks like we do have a pitching change, and we'll get that all figured out right after this timeout on NLWN-TV.
The Eau Claire Cavaliers would like to take veterans out to the ball game. That's right. As a thank you for your service, any veteran of the United States military can receive a lifetime pass for free admission to all Cavalier home games. Just come to Carson Park with your veteran identification, and the Cavaliers will issue you a free lifetime pass to all Cavalier home games. That's just the Cavaliers' way of saying thank you for your service.
Can't believe you're doing this alone. I've done it before. I remember. You threw your back out. How you holding up?
Hand me that board.
Nothing wrong with getting help.
I'm good.
I did it when Felicia left.
I'll figure it out.
I know you will, but you don't have to do it alone. That's all I'm saying.
If I promise to look into it, will you drop it and help me build this fence?
Now you need my help.
It can be a real pain sometimes, you know that?
Mm-hmm.
If you or a veteran you know needs support, don't wait. Reach out. Find resources at va.gov/reach.
NLWN-2 invites you to join us in our time machine and journey back to the 1860s for some vintage baseball with the Menominee Blue Caps. Our next broadcast will be on Monday, July 7th, as the Blue Caps will be in action from Liberty Fest in Chautauqua, Wisconsin. Coverage begins at 7 p.m. That's Vintage Baseball, Monday, July 7th, on NLWN-2.
New pitcher for the Cavaliers is Eli Rathke. And he's being asked to remove his wristband because it's white. And you can't have that because it's distracting to the hitter as he goes through his motion. And so he does. The tan line where he had the wristband on is almost as white as the wristband was. You can't take that off. Now the pitch, swing and a miss for a strike. Fastball, little bit inside, and Lacoya getting out of the way, ended up swinging his bat. And that was some more chin music. 1 ball, 1 strike. Rathke at the belt. And the pitch. Fly ball, that's deep into left field. That's way back. It's off the wall. And he checks in with a double. And it also put Lacey on third. So Nick Rooney is going to come to the plate. Or check that, it's not Nick Rooney. Coming to the plate is going to be Caleb Moss. And the pitch, foul back into the net, strike one. Rathke delivers. That's high and outside. 1 ball, 1 strike. And the pitch, outside. Cavs up by 5. Tying run still in the dugout. Rathke delivers. That one's a little bit high, got away from Knickerbocker and into score. I think we're going to make that a pass ball. And Lakoya is over on third. So 2 runs in this inning. It's now 11-7. That's high and away for ball 4. So again, the Tigers have runners on the corners. And that's going to bring up Zwiefelhofer, Cole Zwiefelhofer, coming in to bat for Berzina. There's a strike called. And that missed. 1 ball, 1 strike to Cole Zwiefelhofer. And there's a shot out into... No, it's caught! And nowhere for a double play, but Gopinski made a nice running catch. Riley Gopinski with a defensive web gem that time, back behind second base. And there's 2 down, so the Tigers are up to their final out. And it is Ben Steinmetz at the plate. And the pitch. Throw it on to first. That's close. They said he was safe getting back. Rooney made it back. Or check that, that's Moss out there. No balls and a strike. And the pitch. Just outside for a ball. To Ben Steinmetz, who's 1 for 3. And the pitch. Strike called at the letters. Billy McKnight sometimes a little delayed on his calls, but he's very deliberate with them. 1 ball, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Here's the pitch. Inside. Dan thinks he should go outside now. Knickerbocker set up on the outside part of the plate. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 down. And strike 3 called to do it. So for the Tigers, they did get 2 runs on 3 hits. There were no Cavalier errors and 2 were left on base. Final score in this one, Cavaliers 11, Tilden Tigers 7, and we'll be back with Talking Baseball right after this timeout on NLWN-TV.
Life doesn't always give you time to change the outcome. Prediabetes does. 1 in 3 adults has prediabetes, but with early diagnosis, prediabetes can be reversed. And you can change the outcome. Take the 1-minute prediabetes risk test today. Go to doihaveprediabetes.org.
You've been watching Eau Claire Cavalier Baseball on NLWN-TV. This copyrighted presentation has been a production of the Northern Light Webcasting Network in conjunction with the Eau Claire Cavaliers and is intended for the enjoyment of the viewing and listening audience. Any broadcast, rebroadcast, or reproduction in any form without the express written consent of the Northern Light Webcasting Network LLC and the Eau Claire Cavaliers is prohibited. Stay tuned. Coming up next is Talkin' Baseball, with a look back at today's game.
Hey, honey. We thought we'd try something new.
Family art hour. What do you think?
You got jokes. You're funny.
Learn about adopting a teen from foster care. You can't imagine the reward. Learn more at adoptuskids.org.
Time now for Talkin' Baseball with a wrap-up of today's Eau Claire Cavalier game. And now, back out to the ballpark.
And we're back here at Carson Park. Going to do a little Talkin' Baseball as the Cavs come away with a doubleheader split against the Tilden Tigers, losing the first one 7-4, winning the second game 11-7. Jay, your thoughts about that?
Well, the Cavaliers in that second game hit the ball. Pitching was pretty decent, and it was just it was a nice comeback from the first game where things started a little slow, and it was the Tigers that. Well, although now that I look at it here, the hits were 9-8 in that first game in favor of the Cavaliers. So it was just the hits were more timely. The defense was on for the Cavs, and it ended up in a good split for them.
And don't let that record of the Tilden Tigers, which is now 4-8 for the Tigers in the CRBL. Don't let that fool you. This team is loaded with a lot of talent, and they're just off to a slow start, and they can step up and beat anybody any day, and that's what they showed today. They beat the Cavaliers in Game 1, but Game 2 the Cavs came back and played hard and did a much better job, a little cleaner out in the field. That makes a big difference.
Yes, huge.
And as you said, some timely hitting, and that was pretty important. Cavaliers got 11 runs on 12 hits. They committed 1 error. The Tigers, 7 runs, 8 hits. They committed 1 error. The winning pitcher was Cooper Dykes. That moves his record up to 2 wins, 1 loss, and a save. And the losing pitcher was P.J. LaCoya, and his record is now 2 wins and 2 losses. We will have Cavalier manager Ryan Bemnister coming up to join us very shortly. And so while we wait for him, we'll take a timeout on NLWN-TV.
I'm Chris Jakomick. I served in the United States Air Force, and I deployed 3 times. So in 2017, I was serving as an Air Force First Sergeant. Our motto in that role is "My job is people, everyone is my business." But unfortunately in that year, I would lose my own brother, Lance Corporal Adam Jakomick, to suicide. The majority of veteran suicides are from guns. I store my weapons securely, not only for myself, but for my family. My service never stops.
Being a cowboy, well, I don't know anything different. I had a very successful career. Life was fast. I was preparing physically. I wasn't doing anything mentally. And then I got hurt. I dug into mental health. I wanted to be better as a person. I start my day with a workout. I live life 8 seconds at a time. Find a place to stop and just breathe. Love your mind.
My name's Stacy, I'm 57, and I was adopted in 2020. One teen can come in and make you look at life in a whole different way.
You know, he's my father, so I look up to him a lot. If I can be 10% of the man he is, I'll be a happy person for sure.
Learn about adopting a teen from foster care. You can't imagine the reward. Visit adoptuskids.org.
Today, nearly 8,000 kids will start vaping, maybe even yours. Learn about the dangers at talkaboutvaping.org.
You're tuned to the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN-TV. We use advertising revenue to make this service available to you. If you have a business and would like to get your message out to our ever-increasing audience, give us a call at 715-563-1749. We'll be happy to discuss our budget-friendly advertising packages with you. Get your business noticed on the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN-TV by calling 715-563-1749.
And getting ready to join us here is Cavalier manager Ryan Bemnister. And I think he's coming in here. Yeah, a little warm and toasty, and but you came away with a split.
Yeah, it's good. Good to go 1-1. Would have been nice to go 2-0, but just couldn't get timely hits in the first game, and Millie was a little off. He's got a little cut on his foot. So he struggled a little bit there, and we had some... The ball seemed like it fell their way a little bit more than ours today.
Well, at least in game one it did.
Yeah, so it's just one of those bad breaks. It's baseball. They're a good team over there. Brandon's got them going in the right direction. They're getting everybody back that was going to be on the roster, so they're going to be a good team the rest of the year.
Right before you came up, I made the comment, don't let that record that they have now fool you, because it's a team loaded with a lot of talent.
Yeah, they're way better than what their record is.
And so they have the ability, in fact, they have the ability to pull off some important upsets as the season goes along that could help the Cavs a little bit. But game one, again, it showed that if you make the mistakes in the field, it's going to come back and haunt you.
Yeah, and that's just exactly what happened. It's we just couldn't get around it. We kept on digging ourselves. We don't get back into it, and then we dig another hole. We get back into it, dig another hole. Get back into it, dig another hole. And eventually, you're not gonna be able to dig out of those holes. I mean, and we weren't really hitting up and down the lineup either in that first game, so it's kind of hard to string together runs when you don't have back to hits. So,
well, in game two, it looked like you solved a lot of that. Tilden got their share of hits, but you guys put 12 hits on the board, and that's a really good output for the Cavs. And some of them were pretty important hits. Knickerbocker, 2 RBI double, a 2 RBI single. He had a big day. You just got hits when you needed them in game two.
Yeah, and it was just the energy level that was brought there. There was a couple of our senior leadership group, we'll call them, kind of had a conversation with them at the end of the game after I kind of, yelled at them a little bit and stuff like that. And, I didn't yell. I just wanted to get those guys motivated. The energy just wasn't here, and, a couple guys were like, it's really hot. I don't want to sit. Well, it's hot for them, too. So let's get up and support your teammates. And, I think that the spark that sparked everything was the double by Hav when he was yelling from first to second at the dugout to get up, and I think that made a big difference in the game there. Cause everybody saw that. They're like, okay, hey, let's get our shit together and let's go. So,
now, here's a question for you, because we couldn't hear clearly up here what they were saying. The balk no balk call. How was it explained to you?
All right, so technically, and I was talking to Nolan Byer over there, if you look at what he did, he balked. Okay? The problem is neither umpire saw the shift of the shoulders before the step off. So they called the balk on the step off, which is not a balk.
Okay.
And that was the confusion of the field ump. And he's new. He's learning. He asked for criticism. He asked for some advice, which is really good for an umpire to do. I'm really happy to see that, Give them their lumps and their bruises through a game as you kind of hound them a little bit. But he asked, some questions about his plate stuff and then the field thing. And I talked to Billy, and we got a good relationship with most of the umps in the league and stuff. And Billy explained to me, he goes, if we would have seen the twitch, which I heard there was, we could have called balk. We didn't see the twitch. We saw the step off. Makes it a legal pickoff play. That's why the runner's out at second. I asked them because I'm in the middle of that. Nobody was really watching second, and Billy's I had my eye on second because the field ump was calling the balk and walking in. So they did get the out at second. So it was explained as precise as it could have been.
Yeah.
It just wasn't very clear to everybody in the field because both teams are high energy at that point, right? It's a close game, and you're gonna try to get your 2 cents into the umpires, and sometimes you gotta let them talk, and that's why I was yelling at my dugout. I'm just sit down, let these guys work through it. Whatever happens, you can't change anyways, and you yelling at them isn't gonna help anything other than you're gonna stay here for an extra 20 minutes, So.
And you could see that they were discussing it civilly, and I also watching the demeanor of Billy McKnight. He was taking that moment to do some teaching as well, and making sure that they had the right call, and he was listening to everything that the guys knew for us, Camden Bloom, everything that he had to say about what he had seen and so on. So I feel as though they're confident that they ended up with the correct call. And it may very well have been. I have no idea.
Yeah, the call that was made was the correct call. The problem is they missed the call that should have been made prior to that step-off, which was the balk.
Well,
and
they're human.
People miss balks, but that's why I yelled balk, and then that's when the kid stepped off, and then that's when the confusion started, because everybody saw the balk. Even Nolan saw the balk at third, and he's like, yeah, that was a balk, but he argued the step-off, and I'm like, yep, as soon as he argues the step-off, that's the balk's out of play. They didn't see that. They didn't see that, so that's out of play. So we won't argue that play at all.
No, and that you just chalk it up to a learning experience. One of the interesting things that happens sometimes in baseball, and that's what happens.
It did, yeah, and it's fine. And that play didn't affect this game at all, anyways. It didn't.
So, at least the one thing about a doubleheader split, you always feel a lot better if your half of the split is game 2.
Okay. Still lost game 1. I don't know.
You did. But at least you carry a little momentum out of the doubleheader.
You got to get a book or something to read about Confucius. Hey, that doesn't make any sense. Right?
We did. We were also.
Boy, sure am glad I lost game 1 today, guys, because I came back and won game 2, and I feel so much better.
Well, the other thing we noticed, and we were impressed with your coaching of the people in the bleachers.
Yes, I did say. I said you guys cheer and I coach, because they're asking about whatever. I can't remember what the play was, but I was just laughing because it was my dad that yelled out down, and I'm like, oh my gosh, what are you doing? Oh, so yeah, it's fun. It's good to banter with the other team. We had good chirping back and forth in the guys. I actually kind of felt bad for Tilden a little bit. Cooper's a little bit erratic in that second game. He hit 6 guys, but 5 of them were on basically curveballs. But he just couldn't locate with left-handed batters. And they recognized that, just recognized that it fit a little bit late on the hit-by-pitches. So I feel bad for Tilden getting hit. None of it was intentional. Cooper just had off day.
And the only thing that made it the least bit questionable was the fact that 3 of those 6 were to Jordan Steinmetz.
Yes.
Who's batting .706 coming into the weekend.
Well, I didn't even know what he was batting, but good job, Jordan. I'm proud of you. I'm very sorry for everything that Cooper did.
And
I really am. None of it was intentional. I feel bad.
And Jordan kept his cool and just went down to first and did what he was supposed to do, and so hats off to him for that.
Yeah. We did get hit back in the next inning, and there was some fun stuff where we yelled, that was intentional. I'm like, yeah, it was. I'd hit one of our guys, too, if I hit you 6 times. So I don't blame you. I'm just laughing at the whole thing.
And again, we just say that's baseball. Well, Ryan, all right, you pick up the split. Coming up next Wednesday, you're down in Augusta where the award-winning hot dogs are.
Yep.
What are we looking for?
Win.
That's.
I don't want to ask you because you might say, well, we lost the first part of that game, but we won the second. It doesn't make any
Which
sense.
is something that
I don't know what that
down
means.
in Augusta a year or two ago.
I'm kind of looking for a win in Augusta if you really want to know what I'm looking for. I mean, it's 160 degrees outside, and you're asking me silly questions about what are you looking for? I'm looking for a good hot dog.
Hot dogs.
Oh yeah, I would love to enjoy a hot dog after the game after a win. That's what I'm looking for.
Yeah, they always taste better after a win.
Maybe some clean baseball and have the order hit up and down the lineup. I mean, I really was impressed with our top of the order today, to tell you the truth. Like those 1 through 4 guys, just came to work today, and I know that Caden Erickson and Xavier had a kind of a leadership role on getting the other guys rolling on how they should approach LaCroix, because LaCroix throws a little bit different in that second game, and you can't attack him like you're going to attack somebody that throws 75 to 80. He's too good to approach him like that. He's going to get you to pop up and roll over on a bunch of things. You need to have a different approach, and they kind of showed the other guys that approach, and that's how we broke the game open against them. So hats off to that, and hats off to Cooper Dykes for really buckling down today and making it through that 6 innings.
Well, congratulations on winning Game 2, and we will see you on Wednesday in Augusta.
Yeah, for a win.
Sounds good, and maybe a hot dog afterwards.
Of course.
And we'll have more Talking Baseball right after this timeout on NLWN-TV.
Let NLWN-TV take you out to the ballgame. Our next broadcast will be on Wednesday, July 2nd, when we will bring you the Cavaliers taking on the Augusta Athletics from Jan Kruger Memorial Field in Augusta, Wisconsin. Live coverage on NLWN-TV begins with the In the Dugout show at 6:30 p.m. That's Eau Claire Cavalier baseball on Wednesday, July 2nd on NLWN-TV.
And we're back here at Carson Park getting ready to wrap things up as the Cavaliers take the second half of the doubleheader by a score of 11-7 over the Tilden Tigers. Jay, your final thoughts?
I think Ryan was right on. The first 4 batters in the order for the Cavaliers did do a really good job of getting things going and that sort of thing. And it's looking forward to getting a win at Augusta.
And then maybe a hot dog afterward.
Yeah.
That sounds pretty good. So, let's see. That's coming up on Wednesday.
Wednesday night, July 2nd on NLWN-TV. Cavaliers travel to Augusta to take on the Athletics in a CRBL contest from Jan Krieger Field in Augusta. Coverage begins at 6:30 with the In the Dugout show, followed by all the play-by-play action. And join us Monday night, July 7th, a week from tomorrow night on NLWN2, as our coverage of vintage baseball continues when we bring you the Menominee Blue Caps playing at Liberty Fest in Chetek. Coverage begins on July 7th at 7 p.m. on NLWN2. Today's Eau Claire Cavalier baseball game is brought to you by Menominee Eye and Optical, with quality, personalized care for you and your family. Your Napa Auto Parts store at 3580 Mall Drive in Eau Claire. Mom's Restaurant and Pub in Colfax, comfort food the way Mom used to make it. Midwest Environmental Consultants, lawn care and soil testing experts for Western Wisconsin. Auto Vision Center, windshield repair and replacement on North Claremont Avenue in Eau Claire. Slayton's Technology, the official IT provider for the Northern Light Webcasting Network, and the Chippewa Valley Museum, where you can connect with the roots of the valley in Carson Park. Be sure to thank these fine sponsors for bringing you Eau Claire Cavalier baseball on NLWN-TV. Rick?
Okay, and for Jay Fall and Cassie Nelson, Dan Petchow on the camera, this is Rick Olson, and final score once again in Game 2, Cavaliers 11, Tilden Tigers 7. You've been tuned to Talkin' Baseball on NLWN-TV.
You have been tuned to Talkin' Baseball with a wrap-up of today's Eau Claire Cavalier baseball game. This has been a presentation of Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN-TV.
In the heart of a small town where the rivers flow, there's a spirit rising up and it's starting to grow. Carson Park's the place where dreams come alive. Eau Claire Cavaliers, the reason we thrive. With the crack of the bat shouted out loud for over 50 years of history. Pride and cheer in this town, we're all family, the love sincere. Eau Claire Cavaliers, we wear it with pride. Big time baseball in a small town ride. From the bases to the bleachers, hear the fans sing. For the love of the game, together we bring. In this town standing tall, we always belong. With Eau Claire Cavaliers, we'll keep singing our song. Through the ups and the downs, we'll face every fight. With grit in our hearts, we'll shine ever bright. Eau Claire Cavaliers, we wear it with pride. Big time baseball in a small town ride. From the bases to the bleachers, hear the fans sing. For the love of the game, together we bring. So raise up your voices, let the stories be told. In Eau Claire's pure heart, our legacy bold. With the Cavaliers shining like stars in the night. Big time in a small town, forever in our sight.